Kira show here. Now, if you can't tell from my voice, I have been trying to talk today, but I've been losing my voice more and more. And I'm starting to think I might need to go see a doctor to see what's going on. Because not only is my asthma been acting up, but I'm losing my voice and I'm having my nostrils actually start, my right nostril actually burn, like it feels like it burns to the point where my right eye starts tearing up. Now, I may need to make a doctor's appointment about that. What the fuck is that sound? But I'll get that figured out, and I'm gonna try and upload this soon. Anyway, whenever we last left off, Class 1A, Class 1A, Deku had captured the hero killer, along with, and Toga has essentially confessed her feelings for Deku. Now, they all come back to Class 1A. Most of them are all walking together, doing all that. But Toga, she's gotten a bit more of a handle on Deku's hakai energy, because he's essentially the strongest person in 1A she can copy. So when she does use his blood, she can actually state as herself and control her hakai and her fire better. Because she can essentially learn from Deku and pick up tips he learned really fast. So now, I said this in the last part, but I did edit it to where you guys could hear me better. I don't know how it will sound. I'll have to check and see how I sound. But if I can't hear myself, I will have to boost the audio. Now then, whenever we last left off, so they're already in Class 1A. They're talking, they're doing all this. They're actually like really close to each other, talking, doing all that. Everyone would walk in. Deku and Toga would sort of blush as they are essentially as close as couples would be. Moneta would say that it's good for them because he would say that Kaminari actually owes him $20 because he's our ah he is our respect woman Moneta, this guy. So now so now hurts to try to talk properly. That hurts whenever I try and get too loud. So I'm just gonna boost this in editor. So now then, Kaminari would then hand over $20 to Moneta, and Deku would ask what their bet was. Moneta would say that he bet Kaminari that him and Toga would be the ones who become a couple. Deku would say, what did Kaminari bet? Kaminari would say he thought it would be you and Ochako. Ochako would kind of blush and kind of increase gravity on Kaminari. Kaminari would then fall to the ground and apologize to Ochako. Now, after this, Inko would come in and she would then say that they are going to be doing another combat test. And she's glad that everyone here is wearing the weight she assigned them. Because let's say that whenever she was training everyone, she found out how much they weighed, the right amount of. She essentially got them all weighted clothing, like what Deku, like what Goku wears, and she would give it to them. And they're all talking, and she would say that she's glad they're all wearing their weighted clothing, but they don't need to wear it for what they're doing. A lot of them would be happy about this, and they would all take it off. And she would explain that they are going to be doing a teachers versus students to see how far they've actually come. Now, as soon as everyone hears this, they immediately get scared, thinking that one of them might have to face, or if all of them might have to face Inko. She would then state that don't be silly, we're gonna do one thing. It's gonna be, there's just gonna be one thing. Three of you are gonna be facing All Might because she personally wants to see how far Deku has come. Deku would perk up and actually start smiling, stating that he's happy that he's actually gonna have to like go all out. Inko would then smile and say that she's not gonna go easy on him. Now everyone in the room is looking at this and thinking that this is gonna be the greatest thing they might ever see. Now, let's cut to the battles. It's gonna be Bakugo. Everything's like in canon, but with the addition of Toga and Kendo, Kendo, and the Wind Guy, along with those people, and a stronger Mineta, they would replace their respective people. Toga, Bakugo, and Mineta are all going to be facing off against All Might. This would go how you would think it would, with Toga copying Deku's abilities, Mineta using One for all the way, and actually punching All Might away and somewhat beating him. Toga would take Bakugo to the finish line as he would try to blow her up, and they would win after Mineta would punch All Might square in the face with 100% of One for All. Now, this All Might is stronger, but so is Mineta's version of One for All, because it has that 30% boost than Canon One for All. So this would actually dislocate All Might's jaw. So he'd have to go get it popped. He would have to pop it back in. Everyone would see this on cameras and actually question how strong Mineta is. But then they would realize that he's comparable to Deku. And the fact that Deku actually Mineta was able to be on par with Deku. And how they saw how he was going against Mineta during the sports festival. Now then, as that would happen, Mineta would then say that it was actually it wasn't very hard. Toga's whole plan was revolving around him distracting All Might. Now, everyone would probably win their matches against their teachers, like in canon. But then there's Deku versus Inko, his mother, the number one hero. Now, cut to the battlefield. They're actually in one of the cities the entrance exam was in. And it's probably the city that Deku destroyed. Everyone would then say that this is going to be crazy. There's no way Deku can beat his mom, right? He's doomed to fail. Now, one thing I have mentioned is how strong Deku is in the last part, but I said that he was going all out, like beyond 100%. I mean, like he was doing all this in front of his classmates to just show them, like he was trying to motivate them to train harder and harder because he was actually at 100% where he would have his ki, his hakai energy inside his body. Now, Deku and his mom, they are fighting. Everyone would be trying to keep up with how fast their battle is. And 1 second they would see them both on the other side of the city. The next second, all they would hear is just the clash of their fist, shaking the entire entrance exam. The area the entrance exam is in. Now, the area is shaking. It's every building they see, but each punch is just them being demolished. They're flying up in the air, going higher and higher. There was clouds everywhere in the sky, but now it's just sunny. It looks like it's summer. It's insane. Whenever they were in the sky, everyone's watching them fight and fight and fight. Deku and his mom are essentially throwing punch after punch at each other, trying to fight. And Deku tries throwing fire. He's able to burn his mom, but it's not enough. She then punch him, and then he'd have to punch her back, essentially doing what Moneta did and Deku did in the finals. We're just going back and forth with punches, but Inko is always trying to keep a distance to stay away from Deku's fire. And Deku would actually rip off his shirt. God, it's already torn up, but what remains of his shirt, he would wrap around his arm. His wrist, like right here on his wrist, he would wrap it around. Actually, no, he would wrap it around his left arm. And whenever he charges at his mother, he actually does grab her by her left arm. And he then just shoots as much fire as he can out of his mouth in his right hand. Well, essentially using Hakai energy in his left to try and keep hold of her. She would then let out her Hakai energy, and as the battle rages on, everyone's watching and just questioning what the hell is happening. Because it's only whenever they stop moving that they ever see glimpses of these two. Now, all my Bakugo, Toga, and them are all walk in, and Toga would actually take a sample of Deku's blood, thinking that she has an idea. And as soon as she takes the sample, she's actually seeing these two fight. She would then perk up saying that she sees them. She can see them. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how, but she can. Everyone's saying that she's lying, and then she would say that they're about to clash fists now, and then a sound wave would go off, and everyone's asking Toga how she knows this. She would say that she took a sample of Deku's blood, and apparently using the Hakai, using the energy, or if it's just the way she's been learning from Deku, she can actually see them. She thinks that she's moving. She thinks that her body is enhancing to where she can see them with Deku's blood using his power. That's essentially what's happening. But she would have to try and focus first whenever she does do this. Now, Deku and his mom, they're still going back and forth fighting. Deku's going as hard as he can. His ki is purifying so much. His energy is purifying so much. And his mom's actually watching as parts of his body well, not parts of his body, parts of his clothing are still left around his arms and stuff are all disappearing. And he just has his hero costume on. And it's just destroyed. It's tattered at this point. Now, Deku, he actually would have taken a good blow to the eye. So one of his eyes are actually full of blood. And he would look at her, and she's just impressed by Deku. Because she's actually going at 90%. Deku's going at around 100%, but he's got his ki still around his body. Now, he would then calm down and keep his ki inside his body. And whenever he rushes at his mom, he goes in for a kick, but as soon as she would go to block the kick, he would come in with a punch. And these two are going back and forth. And Deku has trained his stamina, but he'd wear his mother down to the point where he can fight her at 100%. But inevitably, his mother, she would slow down less. But Deku's pushing himself because he's already past what is essentially 11% of his mother's power. He's at 11% of the original hakai energy. And this is whenever she sees that he's got that glow around him, that he essentially starts shooting out black fire with his energy, and everything around him is just turning to dust. Inko's actually taking damage from this, and she would have blocked it with her left arm, but now whenever the smoke emerges, Inko's left arm is actually damaged and broken, and Deku's fighting her as strongly as he can. And as soon as Deku would get a clear punch and a clear fight through, as soon as his body, because he essentially did what Frieza did in the Hakai Ball, he would have screamed out so loud that he would have thrown both of his fists outward along with his mouth, shooting fire at his mother. And this fire is just pure black, and it's actually burning her. Everyone's watching this, and All Might's telling Deku to calm down. Midoriya, you're going too far. And as Deku would say no, no, he knows his mother can handle this, his mother would come in and punch him in the face. Ugh. Now, Deku would then try getting back up, but as soon as he gets up, his muscle immediately pops and blood goes shooting out behind him. He would then try and stand up. As this was happening, everyone's commenting on Deku's going overboard. He's gonna kill himself, isn't he? Now Deku would then begin trying to fly. He'd get up in the air and start going where he last saw his mother. He'd find her, and she's actually very battle damaged. And they're both, she's still protecting the exit. Deku would try and get past her, but she would stop him, and then Deku would actually shoot fire again. He's shooting this new black fire, but it's actually purple, really. Now, whenever Deku does try fighting her with his good hand, she would fight back, but Deku, whenever he shoots Hakai energy at his mother, for he shoots a red Hakai ball, and this confuses everyone. And this would actually kind of confuse Inko and Deku, as she would then try blocking it with hers, but it would then basically do what it did to Goku. Deku would actually have to come in and rip his mother out of it, throwing her through a couple buildings in the process. Now, taking this opportunity, he would actually run out and be declared the winner. Now, a lot of paramedics would actually, no, Recovery Girl would actually come in and try and help them, but it would essentially everyone's commenting on how Deku may have gone overboard, but now as soon as he would have gotten past the finish line, as soon as he powered down, his entire muscles just immediately just pop out for 1 minute, and then they basically like contort weirdly for a minute, like what Deku did, like what Goku did with this Kaioken times 20 in Super Saiyan Blue with Hit. His muscles would do that, and he would fall to the ground, passing out. Now,